Welcome back, everyone. We are two dudes talking 80s. I'm John. That's my partner in crime, Lewis.
Hello.
A little bit more extravagant than normal.
Joie de vivre.
Almost had like a RuPaul kind of thing. I don't know. So anyway, we're going to talk about music, which is obviously a big topic of the 80s. And we're going to talk about 80s cover songs. These were songs covered in the 1980s. Lou, for those that don't know, what's a cover song?
So a cover song, John, is pretty much it's a different version of an original song, usually done by a different artist. Actually, always done by a different artist. So that's sort of the gist of a cover song.
All right, so we're going to talk today about some of our favorite cover songs in the 80s. Lou, I'm having a hard time hearing you, though. Can you, like, scoot to your right, see if that changes it up a little bit?
Okay, all right, let me try that.
Yeah. Say something.
Bah, 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 bah.
Okay, yeah. Scoot a little bit more to the right. Keep going. Keep going. All right, Lou, go ahead. Keep coming over. Keep, so I can hear you better. And there you are. All right. So yes, we are actually doing this together in the same room. And I'm not going to lie, it's a little strange because I keep looking to talk to him on the screen and he's actually right next to me. But yeah, so we are going to doing this together. Lewis decided to come out to Southern California to celebrate his birthday. We old, but he's older, and have some fun and do some 80s stuff and throw our pen down and talk about some of our favorite 80s covers. So I'm gonna go ahead and lead it off because this is take number 2 because Lewis screwed up the first take. And once again, didn't do his research. He was in the bathroom saying he was doing research. I don't believe it for a second.
Wrong kind of research.
He was researching how badly he could destroy my bathroom. So my first favorite cover song of the 80s is kind of strange because usually a cover song has been out for several years before an artist decides to cover it. But in this case, both the original and both the cover song came out in the 80s. So my first choice is going to be actually Paul Young with Every Time You Go Away.
Oh, good.
So this was actually recorded by Hall & Oates. I actually thought theirs was a cover, but no, they actually wrote it and recorded it first. That came out in 1980. And then Paul Young re-recorded it in 1985. I love Hall & Oates, but I got to say the Paul Young version, in my opinion, as far as superior. Love that version. So
very good choice. I like both of the virgins. Oh my gosh, I'm doing just like batting one for one here.
And the sad thing is we haven't started drinking yet. Okay, we drank last night. We haven't started drinking today, but this is what you get.
So I love both of the versions. They're great, and that is sort of a really good call out that they were both done in the 80s. So that very good choice.
Yeah, double your pleasure, double your fun, like this,
like double income.
Yes, exactly. Which also I think that came out in the 80s. Lou, what you got for me? Can you give me something in the 80s, please?
I'm completely gun shy now, so I'm going for stuff that absolutely, positively happened in the 80s. I'm going to go with Metallica's "Am I Evil," and that was covered in the 80s. That was. Off of your list.
Are you just like looking at my list and just going with it?
Okay. I totally was not.
All right, go ahead with Am I Evil?
So that was by a band called Diamond Head, and that their version came out in 1979. Metallica really sort of lit it up and made it worldwide known. I don't think it was half as popular as it is right now because of Metallica's cover.
No, and I actually had the Diamond Head version. That was one of those albums, the new wave of British heavy metal. I actually had that album. I think it was Lightning to the Nations. I apologize, that might be wrong. Much more bluesy. Sean Harris, the singer for Diamond Head, had a very bluesy voice. It was kind of a little bit more bluesy influenced. Metallica definitely took it up several notches, and it was one on my list. So thanks for that. But I think their version's excellent. And yeah, an absolutely great call in regards to that. So what else do you got for me, Lou?
You want me to go again? Sure.
Please. Oh, wait, I guess it should be my turn.
I'm not the only one who was drinking yesterday.
Since you stole my Metallica one, I was like, wait, that was probably mine. So I get it. All right, well, guess what? I'm going to go ahead and Steal Yours. If you'd plug that in, Lou, before we lose the battery. And mine was actually a Simon and Garfunkel song, and this came out in 1966. And then in 1987, I believe, the Bangles covered it.
Nice.
And that song is A Hazy Shade of Winter, which they did record for the Lesson Zero soundtrack. Not a big Simon and Garfunkel fan, but I love the Bangles version of it. I think they did an excellent job on the song, and yeah, it made it much more up tempo, and love it. We'll listen to it all the time.
That's awesome. I did not know that Simon and Garfunkel actually did the original, and that's definitely the Bangles. That's probably one of my all-time favorites of theirs. Yeah, so very good call out. Very good one.
I for some reason I thought you would have had that one on your list. So.
It actually is on my list. I've got tons of them, so I've got some to fall back on, but that one is definitely on my list.
Good to know.
The next one I'm going to go with, and again, I'm sort of gun shy, so I'm going to pick ones that I know for sure happened in the 80s. All right, I'm going to go with Quiet Riot's Come On Feel the Noise. And again, they sort of propelled this song into into a much wider known version than the one that Slade did in 1979 it was? Nope, in 73, I apologize. 73. So yeah, and it's very interesting because both of the singers' voices are very similar, so it's a really good fit. One of the ones that I really enjoy for sure.
Oh, they definitely, Quiet Riot definitely took that song and put it out into the stratosphere. So excellent call. Loved their version as well. Slade, I've heard it. I thought they were much more successful with Come On Feel the Noise when they tried to replicate that formula on the next album. When they did Mama We're All Crazy Now, I thought, I was like, guys, please stop. So yeah, but great one. I'm gonna go with one that you probably didn't know was a cover song. In 1981, a woman named Helen Schneider actually recorded this song first. And yes, none of us know who the heck Helen Schneider is. Recorded it in 1981, and then it was re-recorded later by none other than Pat Benatar. And we're talking about Shadows of the Night.
Oh, wow.
And yeah, I did my research and discovered that this song was a cover. One of my all-time favorite Pat Benatar songs, and it was a cover. And so if you go on YouTube, look for the Helen Schneider version. It's actually pretty good. I think she enunciates the lyrics better than Pat Benatar. I actually understood some of the lyrics that I've never understood when Pat sings, but of course, you don't do better than Pat Benatar, and her version is amazing.
Yeah, no, I had never heard of the other version, and I really like Pat Benatar's. Like I said, I thought it was her original. I love her performance of it. Just very, very cool. So very good pick.
Thank you.
Yep. All right, next one for me here is I am going to go with one that was originally done by a name called Brenda Lee in 1963. Elvis covered it in 1972, and then the Pet Shop Boys covered it in the 80s. And this is You Were Always on My Mind. So I had no idea that, I thought it was originally done by Elvis. I did not know that Elvis actually lifted it from someone else. So that was education on my part during the research I was doing. And but yeah, also a good tune, for the techno pop of the 80s. And I like Pet Shop Boys, so that's definitely one I wanted to call out.
That's a really good song. I didn't know the history of it, so the fact that Elvis recorded it prior was news to me. So excellent song, excellent choice. One of the things that was really popular in the 80s with the thrash metal scene is Metallica, kind of as usual, they led the way when they re-recorded some of the Misfit songs. And it seemed like after Metallica did it, all the other thrash bands had to do their version of an old punk song and kind of give it the thrash edge. And there were a lot of songs, a lot of covers of those old punk songs, some good, some bad. This one was my favorite. I apologize, this is the name of the song, and that's Fuck You. And that was done by Overkill. and originally done by the band The Subhumans. And Overkill covered it. They put it on an album, a cover album, or that was the main song. I think the rest of the songs were live tracks. And it's one of those songs when you're in a bad mood, you're pissed off. Don't recommend listening to it while driving. You know, it's road rage, but just to be listening to it and singing along with Overkill and saying "fuck you" to the chorus, it's kind of cathartic. So I really recommend that version. And even the original was really good. I remember used to go to the old records exchange all the time, and the employee Jim would always play it, and you know, he flipped me off the double fingers and sing along to it, and really got into it. So I actually was very familiar with the original before Overkill did it, and I liked the metal slam to it. I thought they did a great job, and out of all those old punk covers, I thought theirs was the best.
Cool. I have not heard either one of those versions, so I can't comment one way or the other. So I'll definitely have to go look that up after we're done with this.
Well, you know, at least that way you didn't have to steal one of mine, so we're good.
All right, let's see. Next one that I've got here that's for sure absolutely positively happened in the 80s is okay. I'm gonna go with a band that wasn't really a band after all. They were stripped of their I think Grammy it was in the 80s. I'm talking about, of course, Jesus Christ.
Milli Vanilli.
Wow.
Girl, you know it's true.
It sounds like I really need to lip sync that one as well. I'll probably do better. So yes, Girl You Know It's True. I had no idea that that was a cover. It was done by a band called, if my old age eyes can read correctly here. Yeah, I'm telling you. So Numarix, and
I'm sure you're pronouncing that wrong too.
I'm sure of it, but it was a cover of theirs, and so yeah, and I, you know, despite everything that Milli Vanilli did poorly as far as, you know, not actually performing their own songs, it is a great song. So whoever actually did the real music did a good job with it.
That was a great song. I still, I'm sorry. I know they, you know, they didn't do the recording. Fab and Rob, and sadly, I forget which one of them passed away. But I really enjoyed that album. You know, I think it came out in 1989. It's a really good album, and you know, I couldn't stand the music videos. Can you do any of the dance moves?
No.
Okay, I was gonna ask for it. But yeah, that was a great song and a great album. So unfortunately, we're down to my last choice, and I got quite a few left. Dang it. All right, well, I'm gonna, you know, stick to the metal realm, and this song originally came out in 1966. Oh, I'm sorry, 1969, and it was done by Creedence Clearwater Revival. It's been covered many, many times, but my absolute favorite recording of it is Leatherwolf, and they recorded it in 1986 on their self-titled album, and that's, of course, their cover of Bad Moon Rising.
Good.
They did a really great job of it, gave it the metal slant. I think when you do these covers, I always get frustrated when artists try to do a carbon copy of the original and really add nothing to it. I like to see when they kind of take it and make it their own. And I thought Leatherwolf did that. I never imagined it as a metal song, and you know, they changed my mind and did a fantastic job with it. So yeah, Bad Moon Rising, Leatherwolf, check it out.
Super good selection. One that I really hadn't even thought of. And Leatherwolf, I don't think ever got their fair shake. They were just an amazing band. And if you're into sort of like the hair metal or just the prog metal, it's probably more the better term for them. I would definitely check them out, especially their first album, just off the hook awesome.
Yeah, I mean, and they were very unique, and they had a triple guitar attack. You know, very unusual in a heavy metal band to have 3 guitar players, and they're fantastic. And because the singer also played guitar, and I'll never forget seeing them in concert, and they would do a lot of stuff, and you know, all 3 guitarists would be playing the same licks, and they did a solo, and it just was mind-blowing. Fantastic band. If you like Armored Saint, if you like Sabotage, if you like bands that, you know, that aren't too thrashy, But heavy, kind of the American heavy metal. Definitely check out Leatherwolf.
Yeah, really good pick. So I think I've got one more.
You got one more.
All right, what am I going to go
Let's
with
see if
here?
you can pronounce everything correctly this time.
All right, I am going to go with a song, and I don't actually know when this came out originally. It might have been in the 80s. I know it was done by Sammy Hagar initially, and a gentleman by the name of Rick Springfield picked it up and made it famous. The song is called "I've Done Everything for You," and yeah, Sammy Hagar initially did it. And I remember in an interview where they were interviewing Sammy, and Sammy was telling the story about him talking to Rick, going, "I don't understand it, man. I put the song out a while ago, and then you went ahead and put it out, and it was went ahead and hit the charts. And I don't understand why." And then Rick said, "Because I'm better looking than you are."
Nice, and he wasn't wrong. He wasn't wrong. Rick Springfield's still a handsome guy. A little Rick Springfield trivia for you. I know you know this, but I'm gonna pretend you don't. The original, the guitar player that did the rhythm guitars for Jesse's Girl was none other than Neil Giraldo, who later, of course, was very famous for being Pat Benatar's guitar player, songwriter, and husband. So yeah, a little trivia for you if you're a fan of Pat Benatar, Neil Giraldo, or a fan of Rick Springfield. So great song. I think both versions of that are really good. I probably lean towards the Rick Springfield version just because I'm probably more used to hearing that, but I don't think you can go wrong with either of them.
Cool.
So, all right. So I guess we're done, huh?
That went pretty quickly, but yeah, we're done.
That went very quickly. It would have gone even quicker if your phone didn't keep going off. Professionalism, that's what we're about here. So thank you guys for watching. It's been a treat to do this with Lewis sitting next to me, and we probably will never do this again. But it was a lot of fun to have him here and celebrate his birthday and celebrate his oldness. And we will see you guys soon. Take us out, Lou.
Peace out.
Thank you, guys.